Hi, I'm Paul. Welcome back to Recycle Model Railways. Let's get into what we're looking at this week. I need everybody who's watching to make a comment on this one, please, because I really would like some advice. I'm going into an area I've never been in. I'll speak to you in a second. So, what's so important that I need you all to comment? Well, as you know from my last video, which did extremely well, probably the best video I've ever had, I was overwhelmed by the amount of people who watched it, the amount of people who commented on it, and the amount of people who've actually subscribed to the channel. So for all of you who have recently subscribed, thank you very much. Hopefully I'm doing something right. The comments are really important, probably more important to me than the amount of subscribers or anything else, because it shows that people are paying attention, interacting, and are happy to give you their advice. And it's that last one more than anything that I like to read, is people giving advice. Had quite a bit of advice last time, quite a few well done type of comments for not buying brand new. It's not my style to buy brand new. The channel's all about picking up the old stuff and bringing it back to life. Anyway, if in case you're wondering what this is, I'm trying to be professional for once. I've got a few notes of things I want to talk about before we get on to this. So yeah, please keep the comments coming. They're always very handy, very useful. And I do enjoy reading them, and obviously I don't have 4 million subscribers, so over the course of a few hours I will normally reply back to every single person, and everybody who has been decent enough to subscribe to my channel, I have subscribed back. Some of you who have commented, I'm already subscribed to anyway. So I'm going to give you a quick update on a couple of things. Well, one thing only, because I'm doing 2 other videos in the background here. You remember my last video was all about how much could I buy for 380 quid, and at the time I think I had 13 locals, and technically I had £69 left to spend, and I decided I would spend it. And before you wonder, no, this isn't all that I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Although they are, that one's recent, that one is, that one is, and that one is, and that one. They are the recent that have come in. But I think we were at 13, and yes, I broke that budget of 380 quid because I got carried away, because people kept putting things on eBay that were too cheap for me to ignore. So even though I don't really need locos, because I do have quite a few up in my loft in storage, I now have 25 new locos, and I think I spent 470 something pound in all. So yes, I'm 90 quid over what the 2 Dapples would cost me, and I have 25 new engines, all diesels apart from one, which was, I think I showed it on the last one, was an Ivet 2F, which I quite liked, and it was a good price, and the guy that was selling it was also selling another engine than I was after. Anyway, I digress. I bought a lot more locals than I really needed to, but I can't resist a bargain. So that ticks that off the list. I wish I could read my own writing. Oh yeah, I said I've got other things going on in the background, so I'll very quickly touch on it. For those of you who have seen it, I have an insulfish project on the go. I bought a couple of job lots of wagons, and I've now ended up with another 7 insulfish wagons, so I've now got 17. So they're on, I'm obviously dealing with the 7 to get them up to where the others are. I've got a load of stuff on my desk, detailing bits and pieces for all sorts of projects. Behind that I've got a local that I did show last week, that I picked up at Redcar Model Railway Show that I had no idea what it was, and some gentleman in the comments very kindly pointed out exactly what it was and said that they are brilliant runners, and I can testify to that. Yes, yes, it is a brilliant runner. However, I've stripped it, all the paint's off it, I've dismantled it completely, and I bought all sorts of bits and pieces. I'm going to go to town on this. I'm going to put a video out just on this one loco, and some people might think you're an idiot. Yeah, I am. I know I am. I've always been an idiot. But some people might think you're a lunatic, and some people think, okay, yeah, I see where you're going with that. For me, I like messing about, and I like to do things. I like to make my models my models. Just because I bought them doesn't mean they're mine. I want to do something that personalises them, that I can look at it in years to come when it's running around the layout and think, I made that what it is. I've also got a little carried away with coaches. I was looking through my stock list of what coaches I have up in the loft. Look for where I thought I was short on a few. So I'm currently sitting on 24 extra coaches. There's another 6 on the way. Again, we'll do something about that at a later date. But let's get on to what the title of the video was about. DC or not DCC or not DCC. So I think in total, don't quote me, I've got over nearly 50 locos now, steam and diesels. So I've kind of looked around and think, yeah, I'd like to probably go down the DCC route. So here's the first issue with it. As some of you know, I have 5 children ranging from 14 to 28, and every one of them is at home. I do live in a 5-bedroom bungalow, which is very shortly going to be 7, but there's no space for a layout for me. It's being put off once, and it's going to be put off again for a while, I would think. So I don't actually have anywhere to run these things, unfortunately. However, there's a lot of people out there who will build the layout and are frantically buying wagons and trains and everything else. Well, I want to get back into modelling, and my thought is, if I get it all ready now, that when it comes layout time, I can just, all I'm concentrating on is putting the track down, and while I'm messing about doing the building work, I can be running trains. So should I DCC them? I want a fairly decent sized layout with quite a lot of things moving, so I suppose the answer has to be yes, DCC your locos. So here's the question. If you were me, would you DCC them now, or would you DCC them at the time? I'm kind of thinking now, while I'm going to be on with sorting these things out. But then you think, well, in how many years will you get that layout built, and will things be even more advanced than they are now? So comments please, now or later. Next question. I've watched so many videos in the last 2 weeks on DCC stuff, and I can't make my mind up. So the first one is anybody prepared to stand up and say, look, I've used this decoder and I think it's excellent? Bear in mind I have nearly 50 locos, so I don't want to be paying stupid amounts of money for a decoder times 50. I want to pay a sensible price. I do know that there's one out there, which the name of it I can't remember, that is reasonably cheap, but I've heard a lot of people complain that it doesn't work very well. So for you, those of you who are out there running DCC locos, please recommend a decoder for me. I'm not worried about having to do the hardwire or anything else like that. I've seen enough videos to know what I'm doing. I just want somebody out there to say, give this a try, mate. I've got it, I run it, I'm happy with it, and then I can go from there. So that resolves that question. The third question with regards to DCC, would you put sound cards in them. There's pros and cons on the sound cards. I love the sounds. I've heard many people out there who are running with sound on their logos, and I think it's awesome. Makes it looks and sounds brilliant when they're coming past. But I've also heard none of it. When I was at Redcar Model Railway Show just a couple of weeks ago, there was only one layout had sound. Only one. All the rest of them were silent. Now, yes, that could be because you're at a show and you don't want all the noise. And I've also heard, I think it was Charlie Bishop, if I remember rightly, at Chadwick, who'd asked the question to somebody or his model group, what sounds do you use with all the different programs you've got? And for them, a lot of it was just turn the engine on and let it make a noise. They didn't bother with these horns and all the other crap. So I guess my question is, it's a bit similar to, do we put a decoder in? Is it worth it? Is it worth putting a sound card in? Has anybody got anything that would suggest? But from the prices I've seen, I'm not going down the decoder route, the sound thingy route. I don't like the idea of the price. I think having all my locos DCC fitted is one thing. Sound, nah. I'll put a pin in that's big enough to take it. Alright, well, I might be wrong on that. Can you buy a pin that is ready to take that? I'm still learning. I know there's a 4-pin decoder, which I don't think is the one I want. I think it's the 8-pin, because I do intend to fit lights where I don't have lights, and upgrade lights to LEDs on certain locos that do have lights. So I'm fairly sure it's an 8-pin decoder I need. If I'm wrong, tell me. And that's it. I'm going to keep this one relatively short and sweet, which you'll all be shocked at, because I don't normally. I prattle on forever. So please give me some answers. DC now or later? DCC now or later? Suggestions on the decoders, the brand, what you think of them if you're using them, and comment on sound cards. Any comments on sound cards, and also if I'm right with the 8-pin decoder for what I need, which is to run the motor and to run some lights. I just need you to come back to me, because I've fished around, I've watched so many videos, and I'm still not 100% sure. I'm not saying I'm starting it tomorrow, but I like to be a little bit prepared in advance, so that I've looked at it and I know what I'm getting and I can order it in, and then I can get on with these locals and get them tidied up. One last thing I will say before I go. Some people will look at eBay and no, I'm going to go to a model shop, and I understand supporting your model shop. I support Peters as much as I can and buy as much as I can from Peters, but going on eBay doesn't mean you're getting crap. Somebody recently said to me, oh, well, you don't know what you're getting. Well, you do. Read the description and look at the photos. Now, sometimes I am pleasantly surprised. Sometimes I'm caught a little off guard because they may not have been 100% truthful. But on here I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6 locos, all of which surprised me when they arrived. Just because of how good they are. As you all know, I set a limit of 25, I think it was 25, 26 pound per loco was my limit. Frequently I didn't pay that at all. Sometimes I didn't even get the 20 quid. On this desk, this is the most highest price one. This cost me £26. It is absolutely immaculate. There isn't a mark on it. It looks brand new. It looks like it's never run. The wheels are very, very clean. And I haven't got one of these. And at 20 quid when I started, I thought, you know what, I'll put my limit of 26 on. see where I get to, and if I buy it, I buy it. If I get it, I get it. And I got it. Absolutely thrilled to bits. I've looked since, and they're all in the 40 plus range, so I think I got lucky on that one. Anyway, I said I wouldn't prattle on, and I am. There you go. That's my questions. Come on, folks, help me out. Tell me where I need to be, what I need to be doing, what I need to be looking at, because I'm sick to death of watching videos and still not really figuring out which is the best way to go. Yes, I understand the concept of pay lots of money for your decoders and you get a much better job. I understand that and I get it. And if I had my layout right now, then I might have. But right now, I don't have my layout. I just want to make them DCC fitted. One other thing while I've got you. Obviously, if I'm going to DCC these things, I'm going to need a controller. Now, at the moment, these things are going to get serviced and repainted or whatever they're going to get done and fitted, so they're going to have to go on my test track and be running, etc. So the controller, I'm going to need a DCC controller, but am I going to just need something basic for the minute? I don't think I need to go down the route of big fancy handheld pads that look amazing and do all sorts. However, is it false economy to buy some cheap and cheerful Hornby shit? No, I shouldn't say that word, but I recently bought a cheap Hornby controller for my test track and it was garbage. It worked when it wanted to work, it cut out all the time, and I took it, I ripped it off the test track bed and threw it in the bin because I was so fed up with it. So don't come at me with Hornby because I'm not interested. What would you buy? Would you just go all in and buy a proper full-on controller right now because you're going to want it anyway, or would you buy something basic and simple that will let me program them, set their code into them and give them a test run? Good question that. Don't know why I didn't think of it. Right, I'm going to go. Thank you very much. I'll be back, I don't know, with a video on the Insel fish vans finished, or this weird logo I bought last week finished, or a video on all of the coaches, of the coaches, even though I'm not planning to do anything with them yet. It's just an idea to show you what they are. Anyway, I'm going to go and I'm going to stop rattling on. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate everybody's time to take and sitting down and watching me prattling on every week or every fortnight. Thank you for the comments. Thank you to the new subscribers and all my original OG subscribers. Just thanks very much. I'm a great believer that YouTube for me is a way of us all sharing what we're doing, sharing our ideas and getting feedback. So yeah, it's not about being 1 million subscribers and running around a Ferrari living the high life for me. It's about sharing our hobby and promoting what we do. Anyway, time to go. I'll catch you on the next one. See you all later. Bye bye.